Here we are talking about the true value of 10 old United States of America 1-cent coins, coins that carry a unique minting history and an incredible legacy. These aren't ordinary pennies. These are rare, vintage, decades-old 1-cent coins whose value today has left even top collectors shocked, surprised, and completely amazed. The kind of coins that have pushed big collectors into deep thinking, because their current market price in dollars is far beyond normal expectations. These coins, due to their age, rarity, and unique mint varieties, have become hidden treasures that can change the destiny of anyone who owns them. So watch this video till the very end, because maybe, just maybe, one of these valuable coins is already lying somewhere in your home, and it could change your luck overnight. Stay tuned, because the value of these coins in today's market is truly unbelievable. Today we begin with the value because this coin surprises many people. A 1943 United States 5-cent coin, whether it is the 1943 D or the 1943 coin without a mint mark, is worth far more than face value in today's collector market. A normal circulated example in fine condition usually sells around $2 to $3, and some higher-grade circulated pieces can reach $4 or even $5, while uncirculated and sharply struck coins with strong details can sell for much more depending on the surface quality, luster, and overall grade. Now let's go deeper into this remarkable wartime coin and understand why even an old 5-cent piece can have strong collector demand today. During World War II, the United States Mint changed the composition of the nickel because nickel metal was urgently needed for war machinery. So the mint replaced the usual copper-nickel alloy with a special wartime mixture containing silver, copper, and manganese. That means every 1943 nickel is a silver alloy wartime coin, not a standard nickel. The presence of silver, the historical wartime story, and the unique look of these coins make them interesting and collectible. The 1943 nickels were made at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and wartime nickels carry a large mint mark above the dome of Monticello. If you see a big D, that means Denver. If you see nothing on older nickels, that usually means Philadelphia, but in the wartime years you will see a large P for Philadelphia and an S for San Francisco. The Denver Mint 1943 D nickel is known for having lower mintage compared to others, which gives it a bit more desirability among collectors. When evaluating your coin, always look closely at the reverse side. Check the mint mark, look at the steps of Monticello, and examine the high points for signs of wear. An original coin with natural surfaces, no cleaning, and solid details will always be valued higher than a cleaned or heavily worn one. The silver wartime alloy tends to age differently, showing a dark patina or toning, which collectors often like. If your coin has strong details, full steps, or bright original luster, it may bring a much higher price, sometimes many times more than a typical circulated example. Even though most 1943 nickels are affordable, the excitement comes from the possibility that your coin could be a high-grade survivor from World War II, something that very few people have kept in pristine condition. The story behind this coin is not just metal and mint marks. It is a piece of history. Imagine millions of Americans using these coins while the nation was at war, factories running non-stop, soldiers overseas, and the mint adjusting metal compositions to save essential materials for the military. This gives the 1943 nickel a sense of identity and significance that ordinary coins do not carry. Collectors around the world search for these wartime silver nickels because they represent a unique chapter in history and are easy to identify thanks to the large mint marks. If you are checking your coin now, start by holding it under a light and looking closely at the surfaces. A coin with visible steps on Monticello, crisp lettering, sharp edges, and minimal wear is always worth more. For the average coin found in change or old collections, the expected selling price today stays between $2 and $5 depending on condition, but uncirculated examples can be worth significantly more, especially if certified by a grading service. Even though this coin is common by mintage numbers, most of them circulated heavily, so high-grade examples are much harder to find. As you watch this video, keep remembering that every old coin tells a story. The hands it passed through, the years it survived, and the world around it during its time of creation. A 1943 5-cent coin is not just money. It is a wartime artifact, a silver coin made during crisis, and a collectible that has stood the test of time. If you find one in your home, in your grandfather's old box, or in a collection you purchased, never ignore it. Clean it. Never. Collectors strongly dislike cleaned coins. Just store it safely, appreciate the history it carries, and enjoy the knowledge that even a small 5-cent piece from 1943 has become more valuable today. Whether yours is a 1943D from Denver or a no-mint/Philadelphia wartime nickel, its journey from a World War II mint press to your hands makes it a special coin worth keeping, studying, and possibly valuing professionally if the condition is high enough. And that is the complete story of the 1943 wartime silver nickel. Its value, its composition, its wartime purpose, and its collectible appeal all rolled into one fascinating coin that continues to draw attention from collectors in 2025 and beyond. The value of a United States of America 1972 Jefferson 5-cent coin without a mint mark, when found in fine condition, generally starts from around $1 in the today's collector market. But depending on eye appeal, surface originality, luster traces, and preservation of details, some pieces move up to $2, $3, and even higher when the coin possesses sharper steps on Monticello or has been saved in exceptional condition by collectors of the past. Even though millions were minted in 1972 at the Philadelphia Mint, and therefore the coin without a mint mark remains common in circulation, the fact remains that older Jefferson nickels, especially those kept alive in nice condition for more than 50 years, continue to attract collectors who appreciate history, age, and American coinage traditions. When we talk about the 1972 nickel, we talk about a coin that has survived more than half a century of pockets, drawers, collections, trades, travels, and hands, and even fine condition examples show the journey of the coin through time. Many people do not realize that older 5-cent pieces often get lost, damaged, cleaned, or destroyed, so when you find one that remains original and untouched, it becomes more appealing to the hobby of numismatics. The value today, while not extremely high, is still appreciated among new collectors and seasoned collectors who search for coins from each year of the Jefferson nickel series, beginning from 1938. When examining your 1972 no-mint mark nickel, the collector first looks at the portrait of Thomas Jefferson and checks how much detail remains on his cheekbone, jawline, and the hair behind his head. If these features show smooth wear but still retain definition, the coin fits well into the fine grade category. The reverse of the coin, showing Monticello, is equally important, especially the steps. Even though full steps are almost never found on circulated coins from this era, collectors appreciate when at least partial step lines remain visible. This adds charm and a sense of rarity to the piece. And when the coin is completely original, showing no signs of harsh cleaning or polishing, its desirability increases among those who understand the true nature of older US coinage. The value starts small, but continues to increase over time as surviving populations decrease, and collectors continue gathering coins from the 1970s due to nostalgia and series completion. Collectors also look at the metallic composition, which is 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving the coin its characteristic silver-gray appearance and durability. This metal blend has allowed the Jefferson nickel to remain stable and long-lasting for decades. When you hold a 1972 nickel in your hand today, you are holding a small part of American economic history, a coin that might have bought goods in grocery stores, traveled across cities, paid for meals, or stayed safe inside jars and boxes for years. This long journey adds sentimental and historical value, even if the monetary value remains modest. In today's market, a strong, good-looking, fine-condition 1972 5-cent coin still leaves an impression, especially for people in other countries who collect US coins as a hobby or even as investment for future value growth. The demand for older coins without mint marks, like this 1972 nickel, remains steady because collectors love filling album slots for each year and each mint mark. Therefore, a coin from 1972 without a mint mark continues to be needed by those completing their Jefferson nickel sets. And although millions exist, only a fraction are still in collectible condition. Many are lost, damaged, or heavily worn. Fine condition examples rise in importance because they represent the middle ground between heavily worn and mint state pieces. They show enough detail to be appreciated, yet show enough age to reflect history. In coin markets across the world, especially online shops, auctions, and private collector groups, prices fluctuate slightly based on demand, overall condition, and market mood. Some collectors buy in bulk, while others look for one perfect example of each date. If your coin has clean surfaces, decent rims, strong lettering, and smooth natural patina, it might attract buyers who appreciate originality more than perfection. And for those who collect American coinage from abroad, even a 1972 nickel becomes an interesting piece of history that connects them to a different time and place. Today, fine condition coins may sell for $1 to $3, sometimes more if the buyer values a specific feature they see appealing, such as the shine or the sharpness in certain details. Even though this specific coin is not rare, people still buy it because every collector loves adding older coins to their collection. And as time continues to move forward, coins from the early 1970s will slowly transition into semi-classic American coins, especially for new generations of collectors who never saw these coins in circulation. The story of the Jefferson nickel itself adds to the value. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin has become one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history, and each year and mint mark tells a small chapter in the broader story of American numismatics. A 1972 nickel without a mint mark reminds us of a time when the United States Mint at Philadelphia did not yet use the P mint mark for nickels. This historical detail adds an extra layer of interest for collectors. Many young collectors start their journey with the Jefferson nickel series because it is affordable, educational, and filled with historical significance. Your 1972 no-mint mark nickel in fine condition remains an enjoyable and collectible piece, representing longevity, history, and the enduring fascination of coin collecting. As long as collectors continue to value older coins, this piece will always have a place in the market, and even modest value coins contribute to the larger culture of learning, collecting, and investment. Every coin tells a story, and your 1972 nickel carries the story of years long gone, preserved in metal. In today's coin market, the USA 1-cent 1966 no-mint mark coin in fine condition typically carries a base collector value of around 5 cents to 20 cents, but in higher grades the price can go from $1 to $20, and in extremely high-end mint state conditions, certified examples can sell for $200, $300, even above $500 depending on strike, luster, and exceptional preservation. And rare era varieties on this same 1966 no-mint mark cent can also push values higher into the hundreds and in rare cases thousands of dollars, making this simple Lincoln Memorial cent an unexpected treasure for collectors who understand the details of the era, the minting process, and the survival rate of high-grade copper coins from the mid-1960s. Now let's talk deeply, continuously, and in long-flowing English about this 1966 coin without breaking the flow, because the story of the 1966 Lincoln cent is tied directly to America's coin shortage history, the removal of mint marks for several years, and the copper composition that makes these coins special for collectors who appreciate the art and era of numismatics. When we talk about a 1966 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, it is important to remember that during 1965, 1966, and 1967, the United States Mint intentionally removed all mint marks from circulating coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them during a temporary coin shortage. Therefore, the absence of a mint mark on a 1966 cent does not indicate a mistake, error, or rarity. Every 1966 cent comes without a mint mark, being struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Even though this coin is common in circulation, the fine condition value stays low because millions survived. But what truly determines value today is eye appeal, surface quality, original red color, luster, strike sharpness, and whether the coin carries any doubling, die cracks, off-center errors, broad strikes, planchet defects, or unusual misstrikes that made some pieces dramatically more valuable. Collectors love this date because copper cents from the 1960s tend to age beautifully, and those few coins stored safely for decades in original bright red condition can sell for unexpectedly high prices, especially when certified by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC. A perfectly preserved MS66RD or MS67RD example of the 1966 no-mint mark cent can reach into very attractive price ranges, far above what an ordinary circulated piece would bring, because the grading scale rewards perfection, brilliance, and flawlessness, and such coins are incredibly hard to find today due to natural oxidation of copper. When we examine the design, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, we see this coin as more than just 1 cent. It becomes a miniature piece of American history, linking the mid-1960s era of social change, economic shifts, minting challenges, and political transformation. And every collector who holds a 1966 cent feels a part of that era preserved in metal. This extended English explanation continues because when we talk about numismatics, especially for viewers who want extremely long, detailed, smooth, continuous commentary, it is important to explore every angle from mintage numbers to the copper composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which is far different from the later post-1982 zinc cents, and gives these earlier pennies a heavier feel and a richer tone that collectors admire. The mintage for the 1966 cent was extremely high, over 2.1 billion coins, which is why ordinary pieces remain common. But the high mintage also means that finding top-tier well-struck coins is challenging, because large production volumes often led to worn dies, weak strikes, and surface imperfections, making flawless examples truly scarce. Demand in the market today for the 1966 Lincoln cent comes from three major groups: new collectors learning about mid-cent copper coins, experienced collectors seeking MS-67RD examples, and era collectors searching for rare mistakes. That is why even a coin worth only a few cents in circulated condition can become worth hundreds if it carries a dramatic mint error, such as a double die obverse, multiple strikes, wrong planchet strike, or broad off-center strike with full details. Now, as we continue discussing this coin in long, uninterrupted English, the story gets even deeper when we look at auction records, showing that fully red gems have gained strong interest from investors who believe high-grade copper coins will continue appreciating over time as fewer and fewer untouched pieces survive. Another important element is that coins from the mid-1960s were often handled harshly by banks, vending machines, and circulation systems, causing nicks, scratches, and dulling. So a coin maintained in fine condition without major damage already stands above the average surviving example. Even so, the true investment potential lies in extremely high-grade pieces that maintain bright luster, clean fields, and minimal marks when viewed under magnification. People sometimes ask whether their 1966 penny is rare simply because it lacks a mint mark, and this long explanation clarifies that the missing mint mark is normal for this date. However, rarity comes from quality and errors, not from the absence of a mint mark. As we move forward in this deeply detailed narrative designed to deliver long-form continuous English, we can say that the 1966 no mint mark penny represents a turning point in American numismatic history, and even though the general value is small, the potential for high-grade and error pieces remains exciting for collectors worldwide. So if you find a 1966 penny in fine condition, its base market value will typically stay modest at a few cents to a couple dollars, but if it shows exceptional color, shine, or an error variety, it could be worth much more, making every discovery special. This never-ending style explanation keeps going to match your request for extremely long English, smooth, flowing, without headings, without breaks, covering history, value, errors, grading, investment potential, collector interest, and the unique story of this United States 1-cent coin struck in 1966 without a mint mark, capturing the attention of anyone who wants to understand American coinage in depth for hours and hours of listening, making this script perfect for long-duration YouTube videos that require constant narration with value information, historical background, market trends, and numismatic details, all in one continuous flow.